indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Sisson. Here. Zumal. Here. Garrell.
Here.
Huffman.
Here.
Hughes. Here. Garcia.
Here.
Holloway.
Here.
Ellenberger.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. For the city report, I will note that July 4th is later this week. City Hall will be closed that day, so everyone will be home with their families celebrating our independence. One thing that I did want everyone to know is the lake is putting on their fireworks. They always put on a great show from 5 to 10 p.m. Starting at 5, they'll have food trucks out at the lake. And then at 7, they'll have live music. They're playing some 70s and 80s music, which I'm impartial to. So that'll be going from 7 all the way up to when the fireworks start, right around 9:30 or so. So like I said, if you can go out there, take your family, there'll be some food out there, live music, and of course the grand finale, the fireworks show. And one thing from all of us, be safe out there. One thing I did a little research, after 9 p.m. your odds of bad things happening go up immensely. And our veterans, youth, pets, if you're firing fireworks off after 9 p.m., it causes a lot of anxiety. So please, have your fun before 9 p.m. if you can, for those people, okay? Any other updates from the council? All right, that's all we had for the city report. There's no public participants, correct, Brianne? All right, no appointments. All right, we'll need a motion to accept the special and regular meeting minutes from the June 19th, 2025 meeting. All right, Alderman Garrell makes a motion. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Alderperson Sisson seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Garrell.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Zumal. Aye. Hughes.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. I'll need a motion to approve the expenditure report and payroll report for the current period. Would someone like to make that motion, please? Alderperson Huffman, can I get a second, please?
I'll second it.
Alderperson Hughes with a second. Any discussion on the expenditures? Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumal.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. First up here, we have Alderperson Zumal, please.
I make a motion to approve asbestos remediation for 3 residential structures by Midwest Service Group for an amount not to exceed $18,100.
All right, we have the first. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Alderperson Kellenberger seconds. Any discussion on these items? And that was 3 buildings, correct, Brianne, that we're tearing down that were blight?
Yes.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Huffman.
Aye.
Ellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumal.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Sisson, your turn.
I make a motion to award a bid for installation of a concrete driveway and sidewalk in front of the main fire station to KRB Excavating for the amount not to exceed $76,245.
First, we have a motion from Alderperson Sisson. Can I get a second? Alderperson Garcia seconds. Any discussion on this item?
Have we had work by them before?
Adam?
So Bill Grider took care of the bidding of all this, and he said he reached out to reputable companies for a proposal. So I really don't know anything. I turned it over to him because it's
Okay.
not really my realm. It's kind of like a streets thing. We are over budget from what we put in the budget, but that was due to, they decided to go ahead and redo the curb and gutter as well. So we're moving some money from our station rehab into the apron, so we can cover it. Still feel like that's the place the money needs to go, because of the big holes and the safety concerns of our people out on the front apron and the public that crosses the apron as well.
And I'm not certain whether KRB has done any work for the city, but they were required to submit references for 2 similar jobs they had done, along with bond work, all of that, to ensure that they are a qualified bidder.
Thanks.
And Adam, they were doing the sidewalks too, right?
So it's the
Yeah, it's all of
whole
it.
front apron and the curb and gutter of the street.
Great, wonderful. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Zumal.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson,
Aye.
and Gerald.
Motion carries. Alderperson Hughes.
I make a motion to award a bid for the installation of concrete area with a fence for 2 pickleball courts at Madison Park to KRB Excavating for an amount not to exceed $100,333.
Right, $103,333. We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Holloway.
And this is grant money, correct?
Yep, 100% is coming from private Tilton funds,
Oh,
correct?
Tilton Fund, yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I did want to bring up is I had a few people reach out to me and ask me, what the color scheme is gonna be for this one. Do we know? The hardcore ones, apparently the last one wasn't the right color scheme, so.
Yeah, we'll be going with traditional pickleball court colors for this one.
Okay, perfect. That was the only feedback I got.
There, pickle.
I guess so.
Sorry.
Any further discussion?
I think we found that the current courts are the same color as the pickleball, so, yeah,
I
that was
didn't
the
see,
issue.
didn't see where it listed where KRB, where are they out of? I mean, things that, we haven't used them before and here they get.
I know we have that
In the
information
packet.
on the bid sheet,
Here we go.
but they were regional. Was it Trenton?
Let's see. Oh, it's not on there.
Yeah, I didn't see this.
Internet search.
That's okay, I mean,
From Trent.
Trenton, okay.
And I have heard of them, I just don't know if the city has ever used them.
say they never bid for, do you know if they've ever submitted a bid on anything else?
I don't know for the city of Litchfield, but I was familiar with the name.
Okay.
I mean, they were somewhere in Clinton County, so.
Perfect. Any further discussion from the floor? Roll call, please.
Holloway,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Sisson,
Aye.
Gerald,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Alderperson Garrell, finish us off.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending chapter 154 of the municipal code to require a maintenance bond for major subdivision.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garrell. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Sisson seconds. Any further discussion on this item? And Brianna, the way I looked at it, it just protects the city further, right? It's just some maintenance.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right, roll call, please.
Kellenberger,
Aye.
Holloway,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Sisson,
Aye.
Gerald,
Aye.
Zumwalt, Huffman.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, now I'll need a motion to enter into executive session as allowed under the Illinois Open Meetings Act as found in chapter 5 of the Illinois Compiled Statutes, section 120, to address certain and restricted items. Brianna, I'll let you read the reasons why we're going into closed session, please.
This is for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, and discussion of minutes of meeting lawfully closed under this act, 5 ILCS 122(2)C1 and 21.
All right, can I get a motion from the floor, please, to go into closed session? Alderperson Garcia, I have a first, I get a second. Alderperson Garrell, seconds. Roll call, please.
Huffman,
Aye.
Gerald,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
Aye.
Sisson,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Holloway.
All right, motion carries. We are now in private session.